Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, everyone. I'm just going to lead really quickly the offertory response. It's in your order of service. It's an insert. Feel free to learn it right now with Kathy and I. We give thanks for being.
We give thanks for being.
We give thanks for being here.
We give thanks for being here.
We give thanks for being here together.
We give thanks for being here together.
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 We give thanks for being.
We give thanks for being.
We give thanks for being here.
We give thanks for being here.
We give thanks for being here together.
We give thanks for being here together.
Being here together.
Being here together.
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 Beautiful, thank you. Please join us when we sing that for the offertory. You may keep talking amongst yourselves. We've got a few minutes.
Good morning. I'm the Reverend Ellen Quaadgras, serving in co-leadership with Kirsten Hunter, our Director of Lifespan Ministry, and serving in shared ministry with all of you. Welcome to South Church, an explicitly welcoming congregation where we welcome you just as you are. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you identify, gay, straight, lesbian, bisexual, queer, transgender, non-binary, questioning, or still figuring it all out, you are welcome here. And whether you believe in God, no God, maybe God, or you just aren't quite sure what you believe, you are welcome here. Whoever you are, whatever you believe, you are welcome here as we grow together in service of our shared values and striving to live always with love at our center. Today, given this month's theme of flourishing together during this Pride weekend and in honor of the 200th anniversary of this building, we reflect on South Church's history of welcoming the LGBTQ+ community. We explore the joys, the triumphs, the blessings, and the struggles to welcome deeply and authentically, and what the call of welcome asks of us today. Today also happens to be Father's Day, so welcome to all fathers and all children of fathers, all for whom today is a joyous day, and all for whom it might be complicated or tender or contain grief. Here, there is room for it all. Grateful to be here today with Willow Young, our worship associate, who'll be leading with me today, for Johnny and the Pride Choir leading us in song, for Jen Leiden and Ben Abbott helping us make this service available beyond the walls. Grateful for Kirsten Hunter leading our time for all ages, after which our youngest are invited to head outside. We think so. Just come on and follow the train. It'll take you somewhere good for some wonderful adventures. After service, all are welcome to join us outside for coffee and conversation, and I saw just a little glimpse of some cakes with some beautiful pride decorations, so I suspect that may be out there too. And I challenge you to invite someone you do not know well into conversation with perhaps this question: what's something your father, grandfather, or another adult taught you that turned out to be completely wrong? All right, you can say some things that were right too, but sometimes it's more fun to say what it was. Anyway, if you would like an assistive listening device, please check in with an usher in the back. We also have large print hymnals. Please silence your cell phone. Oh, I should do that probably too. There we go. And we now make time for some announcements, which I will be offering. Many of us are asking right now, in this strange and difficult time, what can we actually do? This Thursday, June 25th, from 6 to 8 p.m., the Seacoast Unity Hub will gather at South Church to focus on democracy, voting, and practical ways people can make a difference. We will hear from 3 speakers about youth engagement, the importance of New Hampshire's Executive Council, and voter education and election protection, particularly crucial this year. There will be time for conversation and next steps. Come if you are concerned, curious, overwhelmed, or looking for a way to act with others. And please invite someone who is wondering how to stay engaged without being overwhelmed. There are flyers in the back to the left of the main door if you want to join us. We also have coming up, one moment please, a couple of things in your order of service. Please check that out. Mark, our young Haitian friend, is going to be checking in Scarborough next Tuesday, June 23rd at 9 a.m. There was like 40 or 50 people who showed up for him last time, and they helped him prevent getting deported. So consider whether that is something you can do. It can make a really big difference in his life. I also want to name that our wonderful young people are heading to New Orleans tomorrow. After months of preparation and fundraising, they will be leaving bright and early on the bus at 7 a.m. And we want to thank all of you who helped them raise those funds to go, and please hold them in your care as they are down there learning. Also, I want to let you know, 10 a.m., Strawberry Bank, July 4th, there's an immigration and naturalization event happening. It's really nice for a lot of people to join that and show our support for those who are becoming American citizens, especially in this time. And please check your order of service for everything else. Janet's book, A Church Built of Granite, is coming out. You can pre-order, and there's going to be 200th anniversary tours in July and August. You can sign up for those now. We acknowledge that the land upon which this church stands, known to the Abenaki and Pennacook peoples as Endakina, has been stewarded by indigenous communities for thousands of years. We also acknowledge that this land was taken through colonization, displacement, broken promises, and violence. May this acknowledgement move us beyond memory and toward repair as we listen, learn, and take part in the long work of restoring right relationship with this land and with one another.
Bringing light into the world is not as simple as just lighting our chalice. We must remember this is a group effort. Our chalice is a tiny microcosm of our community. It's a thing of many parts and many roles, a container that can be easily held, fuel to burn, a wick to carry that light, all working together to capture, protect, and project the light of our collective divine spark. And yet, once lit, its light of truth can only shine where it is taken. So let today's flame be lit by the love that we all bring. And may it illuminate a way for all our journeys yet to come and all the stories we hear today. Please rise and join me in sharing our mission statement this morning. At South Church, we nurture spiritual growth through worship, learning, and community. We celebrate the worth and dignity of all people, and we inspire one another to act on our faith in the larger community. Thank you. So happy Father's Day, happy solstice, happy Pride. It was actually a bit challenging this morning. I was still juggling between 6 different stories to come up and share, to try to keep my words concise and short because we have so many other stories, and many of you have heard mine. And the one thing that I noticed across all of them, all of my own stories, whether it was speaking at a conference, being at the governor's office last week for a final appeal to get the veto on the bathroom ban, yay, yay. All of them shared certain themes. Themes of visibility, actually showing up as ourselves, our whole selves, bringing myself into the world, that every time I've done so openly and sincerely and honestly, someone else realizes they too might belong as themselves. Bringing joy when it's possible, because it can feel so rare. Finding ways to protest and help carry message that's important for those whose voices still need to be heard or are unable to bring the voice themselves. Creating a sense of inclusion through vulnerability, because we really don't get to be seen by others until we let them see us wholly. And that can be as scary as anything else. And remembering that for all the stories we hear today, the journey never stops. Every moment I think, okay, there's another milestone passed. So many of us in this room know that's not the case. And so I encourage all of us to remember that we take our breath and relax and take joy in the moments when we can, and remember that the walking continues forward, that we continue to shine a light into the places that come from the collective divinity of this room. Those were the themes that kept coming to me this week, so I figured I would just share those. Thank you very much. Now I invite anyone who would be willing to stand in spirit or body to join us from our teal or turquoise or light blue hymnal for hymn number 1053, How Could Anyone?
Okay, I have a story to tell anyone who wants to hear it. You can stay right where you are. but if you'd like to come forward, there's a spot up here that's a great spot for hearing stories, and this one's a pretty fun one. And before I tell it, while I wait for anyone who might want to come hear a story up close, in your order of service, there's an announcement about singing resistance, and it's a little bit not correct. So if that announcement's interesting to you, please find Kathy O'Kaizen, and she can correct you on that information. Okay. Put that down. So, this story is fresh off the presses. I was just told this story last night while I was sleeping in the woods by a crow up in a tree. I know, you didn't know crows told stories, but they do, and this is a good one. So this crow just happened to swoop down, and it said, "Quack! I heard you need a story for the Time for All Ages tomorrow. I've got a good one." And I said, "What? How did you know?" And the crow told me, "Well, Max, I know it doesn't usually seem like crows speak English, but this one, either it was speaking English or something magical was happening in the air, because I could understand the crow. So let me tell you the story it told me, okay?" So, thank you. I appreciate that, Max. So what the crow told me about was a community of animals that lived in the woods somewhere near Pawtuckaway State Park. And the crow said this community of animals was a particularly wonderful community. All of the animals just seemed to love each other. There were chipmunks and squirrels and rabbits and muskrats and opossums and all kinds of little critters, and they all just would say, "Good morning, hello, how are you?" to one another every day, squirreling about their business, chipmunking through the woods, and everything was great. Until one day, a raccoon came to town. And this raccoon was a bit of a troublemaker. He noticed that everyone in this wooden community shared. They only took what they needed, and then they made sure everybody else had enough too. And this raccoon was like, I'd rather take more for myself. In fact, I want to take as much as I can. And he thought to himself, how can I do it? And he started kind of sneaking around, trying to steal people's store of nuts for the winter and looking into people's nests and dens to see what he could snitch. And all of the other animals in the forest noticed, and they started talking to each other, and they were watching out for this bandit raccoon. And the raccoon said, "This will not do. I have to figure out a way to distract all these animals so I can go about my mischievous business." And he thought to himself, I know what I can do. Mischievous. Thank you, Max. Mischievous business. So he said, I know what I can do. If they are suspicious of each other, they won't be suspicious of me. So I'm going to start to spread some rumors. And that raccoon went over to the squirrels and he thought to himself, who's the easiest target? I'm going to pick somebody that people already find a little bit mysterious. And so he went over to the squirrels and he said, did you notice the opossums? They are weird looking. Also, the way they play dead, I don't trust them. And I'm pretty sure I saw an opossum stealing your nuts the other day. And the squirrels looked around and they looked a little nervous and they thought to themselves, you're right, the opossums are a little bit weird looking and it is strange how they play dead. I don't know if we trust those opossums. And so they went around the forest and one by one whispered that rumor to other animals. And all of a sudden the opossums noticed people were looking at them funny and they weren't feeling like they belonged so much anymore. And then the raccoon went on and said, did anybody notice those chipmunks over there? Are they even from here? And everyone looked around and looked at the chipmunks. I never thought about it. Are the chipmunks from here? Are they supposed to be here? And they started getting suspicious of the chipmunks. And this went on and on. There were rumors about the rabbits. There were rumors about the muskrats. There were rumors about all the different animals in the forest, and all the animals in the forest were looking around at each other and not trusting one another. And the raccoon made out like a bandit. No one was paying attention to him because everyone was paying attention to one another and looking at what was different and what was off and what was maybe a little suspicious about all the different animals. And that went on for a while, and the forest was not feeling really like a great place to live. And the rabbits noticed. And the rabbits said to themselves, we have to do something about this. And they tried to think, what could we do? And there was one rabbit who was a particularly artistic rabbit, and she said, I've got an idea. She went and found a nice little square of birch bark, and she had a whole set of paints she'd made from berries and nuts and all kinds of things in the woods. And she made a little birch bark sign, and on it she wrote in her rabbit script, "You are welcome here." And she put it right out in front of her burrow? Max, what is a rabbit's house called? A burrow with tunnels, yes. Right outside that burrow, she put this sign, "You are welcome here." And the muskrat was running around through the woods feeling a little bit unsettled, and he noticed the sign. And Rabbit was there, and she waved. And Muskrat said, "Hi, Rabbit," and felt a little bit better. And Muskrat ran home and said, "I'm going to make a sign too." And Muskrat made a sign outside of Muskrat's house, which I don't know what it's called. And the Muskrat's house, it said, "You are whole and cherished." And some chipmunk went by the Muskrat's house and saw that sign and said, "Hi, Muskrat." And Muskrat said, "Hi, Chipmunk, I'm glad you're here." And they all felt a little bit better. And slowly but surely, all the animals in the forest made their own signs. And those signs turned something over in people's hearts. And from that point on, the forest started to feel like that healthy community again. The signs weren't everything. They also had to show up for each other. They also had to start trusting each other again. They also had to start being in community with one another. But the signs were a beginning point. And that is the story the crow told me. Do we have signs at South Church? Have you noticed? Do you think that our signs at South Church are kind of for the same reason? Right? If we wear a flag on our shirt that says, "I know you are special and whole and holy," that makes a difference, right? Oh, we have the same flag. And those flags outside and the signs downstairs that honor our neighbors, no matter where they came from, those signs make a difference. They are a much more powerful choice than just being quiet when things are not right. So, anyway, I was glad the crow stopped by last night, and that's the story I have for you. And now anyone who would like to go to religious education class, which we think is outside. Nope, it's downstairs. Follow Hillary. She's on her way.
The one thing the crow left out of their story is we need to make sure we pool our resources, not just our love and generosity. It's a way to extend the work of our community and a way to extend our love into action. And part of that practice is we share our plate each month. So during the month of June, our collection will be shared with the Crossroads House, which provides emergency shelter to unhoused individuals and families, providing them with tools and resources to hopefully return to permanent housing. The shelter is open 24 hours, 7 days a week, and they currently house around 75 people per night. So I invite you to consider your generosity for this community, both within these walls and without, as we invite you to bring forward any offering that you can provide, whether in cash, through our website, or with the Vanco app. I invite the ushers to come forward and take this morning's offering.
And then please join us in singing this "We Give Thanks for Being," which is printed in your order of service. You can join us the third time through.
Let us gather our hearts and minds in a spirit of prayer or meditation. Spirit of life. On this Father's Day, we give thanks for those who have fathered us in all the many ways that happens. For fathers and grandfathers, stepfathers and mentors, uncles and teachers, friends and neighbors. For those who taught us how to fix things, how to persevere, how to laugh at ourselves, how to keep going. We give thanks, too, for the generations that came before us. They handed down many gifts, stories, wisdom, courage, traditions, values, love. Sometimes they handed down harder things too: fear, silence, assumptions about who belongs and who does not, ideas that limited what it meant to be fully human. Yet, generation by generation, people have found ways to change what they've inherited. They've widened the circle, challenged prejudice, chosen understanding over fear, curiosity over certainty, welcome over exclusion. Today, we remember those in this congregation and beyond who helped make room for people to live more honestly, love more openly, and belong more fully. And we remember that around us, even now, are living examples of that same love. People who've found the courage to grow and change and stand beside others and say, "You belong here." May we learn from them. May we receive with gratitude what is worth keeping. May we have the wisdom to transform what needs transforming. And may we leave for those who come after us a world with a little more room, a little more justice, and a little more love than the one we inherited. May it be so. Amen. As the music begins, I invite you into a time of quiet reflection, prayer, or meditation. You may simply remain seated and let the music hold you, or you may come forward to light a candle. Candles may be lit for someone you love, in gratitude for those who widened the circle of welcome, or for a hope, a concern, or a prayer you carry today. As we do this, let us make room for our own thoughts and for one another's, holding this time with care. May these lights remind us of the many lives, stories, hopes, and struggles that surround us, and of the love that connects us all. Amen.
Good morning and happy Pride. For those of you I saw at the festival yesterday, this service seems really pertinent because it seemed that it was important for people to be able to express who they were in any form in a place of safety. I had one person come up to me in tears and say she felt so welcomed because in her home in a neighboring town, she had a pride flag in her backyard, and someone came in and destroyed it. And she said it felt so invasive because, and she was just in tears because she felt safe there. And I think that it was a great thing to express. And then right after that, I got into a dance with a 10-year-old, and we got singing out Whitney Houston's "I Want to Dance with Somebody," and the two of us are dancing, so it was just joyous. With South Church's focus on history this year, it was natural to look at Pride in the context of our history with the LGBTQIA+ community. The most documented early aspects appeared during the AIDS crisis period in the 1980s and 1990s, when South Church, then under the ministry of Bob Carnan, really showed up for the LGBTQIA+ people and people living with AIDS. Board notes mention support of the UU Church of Bangor, Maine, after harassment around gay rights, care for church members living with AIDS, participation in the AIDS Walk, where, for instance, in 2001, 46 church people, including members of the junior youth group, marched, and the AIDS Walk raised $29,000. And after Bob's death, Reverend Marta Flanagan's work as a volunteer chaplain with AIDS Response Seacoast. South Church also hosted groups including Seacoast Gay Men, AIDS Response Seacoast, AIDS Hospice, Feminist Health Center, now the Lovering Health Center, and Seacoast Outright. Bob Carnan died unexpectedly in July of 1995. Excerpts from the newspaper article on his memorial service at South Church captured the tone of South Church at that time. Quote, "At the standing room only farewell to the Unitarian Universalist minister, described as a resonant voice of conscience for the entire Seacoast, he, Bob, once described his inclusive congregation as a frontier for confrontation with prejudice. The message resonated. He inspired people of diverse backgrounds, including many who had never found a home in a church before. It was Carnan who galvanized his colleagues to write Portsmouth Covenant of Conscience Against Hatred and Intolerance, recalled Reverend Robert Seifel of the Christ Episcopal Church in Portsmouth. For more than 10 years, he has been a central and centering voice of conscience for South Church, for Portsmouth, for the whole Seacoast. He was majestic because he looked for the majesty in each of us. Reverend Gary Duvall." Thank you.
Morning. When I was asked, excuse me, when I was asked to speak today, the first thing that came to mind was being here in this sanctuary on November 17th, 1991. A friend told me I should come here to his church to hear a sermon. It was called "It's About Love," why this congregation celebrates civil unions for gays and lesbians who seek it. As was mentioned, the minister was Reverend Robert Carnan. I came with two friends. The church was packed. The sermon, one could say, was seismic, transformative, and I refer to it today as a cool breeze in the desert. One of my friends was in tears as he had never heard such words in any faith community. As was noted, and I did too, that Portsmouth Herald had called Reverend Carnan the conscience of, or the South Church, the conscience of the seacoast. Fast forward to December 28th, 2009. Jim and I had a civil union right here. Then when it became law in 2010, we went to City Hall in Dover on January 6th to get our license. We think we were the first in town, as staff took some time to find the paperwork. Thank you. It's all about love.
At City Hall, the chagrin of my discreet husband was evident when the clerk actually called out loudly to the back of the room, "Does anybody here know how to do those conversions?" My 42 years at South Church have been marked by major transitions. My sons sat here as same-sex couples were celebrated, which was a great comfort to me. When Donna, my wife of 32 years, died, my grief was shared by the hundreds who attended her memorial service here. When I made the transition from being publicly straight to publicly gay, when I fell in love with Carlo, where we had our first date here, and married in this sanctuary, we were celebrated. I love that my and our evolution continues. From our adoption of the land acknowledgement, to our immigrant support work, to the current fierce advocacy for transgender rights. We strive to be faithful to the love which centers our commitment to justice in all its forms. This is who we are.
Good morning, South Church. What a beautiful place to be on this beautiful day. My name is Ellen Lavoie Cooke, and I'm here to tell our pride story as it relates to this very special place. Tina Charpentier and I got married right here, June 29th, very special day, 2013. Not a civil union, married. Although our beloved church has recognized the rights and dignity of all, at times in this world, we don't feel like we always have those rights or dignity. In our travels, there are places that we need to be careful, as we sometimes feel unwelcome. 3 days before our wedding, the Supreme Court voted 5-4 to strike down the provisions in the Defense of Marriage Act, DOMA. In doing so, the court ruled that the federal government could not discriminate against legally married same-sex couples, guaranteeing the extension of over 1,000 federal benefits. Benefits included hospital visitation rights, tax exemptions, and inheritance rights. In 2013, Obama was president. 5 Supreme Court judges were on our side. Those were the days. Tina attended South Church since about 1997, so I recognized the package deal, and I joined the church in 2009. Another package deal? When Tina and I married, she was welcomed by my siblings and 3 adult daughters, one of whom is here. Thanks, Jen. Conversely, Tina's family disowned us completely in hurtful and hateful actions that still have an impact today. And for that, our hearts break. But there's good news. Our loving daughter's married. Happy Father's Day, Mike. And we gained 3 sons-in-law. Now, 8 grandkids later, we treasure time with all of them. Isn't this just a great use of retirement? We mow our lawn, we pay our taxes, same as everyone else. No, not like everyone else. Our marriage has at times been dismissed. One colleague described us as not really a married couple. In today's world, we must take absolutely nothing for granted. We stood right there and were bestowed with all the rights of a true partnership in marriage. Over 1,000 federal benefits. Yet, there are those who believe that a great America is one that returns to the time in my life where my true authentic self would be pushed back into a closet. When I divorced in 1995, my parental rights may have been indeed challenged. In 1982, when Tina enlisted, she would have been denied her entire military career. Instead, she remained closeted, completed 21 years of service. And now, because we are married, we both have military retirement benefits. However, I must confess, when asked by a medical professional what my relationship is with my contact person, Tina, there is still that split microsecond of hesitation before I say, my wife. Why? Because along with the possible eye roll is the ingrained worry that I will encounter outright rejection. While South Church is an embracing, loving, and wonderfully kind place, we still experience a world that may not be all of those things. Freedom for everyone to be our true authentic selves, out of the closet, with benefits, rights, and a voice. There is a need to show up, to be loud and proud. These days demand it. For the past few years, Tina and I marched with our daughter and her family in the Portsmouth Pride Parade. 30 years ago, I wouldn't be able to even envision marching in Pride, let alone with our daughter and her family, grandkids. Yesterday, we marched again with our South Church family. It was, and still is, a pretty big deal.
His name was Brad. Not always, not for much of his life. His identity became much clearer as a young adult. The values of Unitarian Universalism, the integration of our whole lives into the church's mission and ministry, and the safety and advocacy offered here at South Church brought Brad to a joyful and painful realization. His gender identity did not match the one assigned at birth. Brad and his partner, Catherine, were active members of South Church during my time as director of religious education during Reverend Marta's and Reverend Will's tenure. Brad and his partner, Catherine, found a home here. They quickly became involved and connected. They spoke frequently of the support they received as a same-sex couple, the welcome and affection, and the many ways they had found their spiritual home. They were married here, started a family here, had so many friends here. Brad joined the religious education team as a youth advisor during the onset of Our Whole Lives program. It was during his tenure as a youth advisor that he and his partner, Catherine, invited me to their home and unraveled a long and painful story of struggle, fear, and confusion, as well as a new revelation they had about their relationship. Brad found clarity over a lifetime of gender confusion and could now give this confusion a name. And he could and would finally live with integrity as male. Brad wanted to live authentically both with Catherine and with his church community. Most importantly, Brad wanted an authentic relationship with the teens and their families, and asked if he could share his journey and identity with them, and that if they were uncomfortable in any way, he would step away from this role in the church. As many of us remember, during this time, the church was working to adopt the welcoming congregation and making efforts to learn and understand what sexual identity meant. That one circle in the circles of sexuality that names who we are and who we love. Brad and Catherine heard those conversations and those fears. Their core values included a commitment to doing little to no harm to those around them. The RE leadership and the board supported the youth group's covenant. We all agreed on what that process would look like, how to honor each teen and their family and allow them their agency and their privacy in responding to Brad's personal journey and in making a decision about Brad as a youth advisor. And to this day, the memory of that meeting still makes me cry. Because during that meeting, our youth showed Brad how much they loved him, how much they believed in him, how deeply they understood who he really was, and what lengths they would go to support him. They listened, really listened, adopting a learning heart and accepting the possibility they didn't know it all. They sat with their fears and anxiousness. They asked thoughtful questions. And they felt respected, honored, and empowered to make decisions. The teens' families were grateful for the process, and they witnessed Unitarian Universalist values in action. And the teens and their parents made the unanimous decision to support Brad and asked him to stay with them as one of their youth advisors. They did the hard thing. They chose love over fear.
As I've listened to these stories, one thing keeps standing out to me. South Church has never stood still. In every generation, people have asked some version of the same question. What does love require of us now? During the AIDS crisis, that question led people to offer care and community. When same-sex couples were denied recognition and protection under the law, that question led people to stand publicly on the side of dignity and blessing. When questions about gender identity challenged assumptions and stirred fears, that question led people to listen and learn and grow. Again and again, people in this congregation chose not to stop with the welcome they had already achieved. They widened the circle. And one thing that strikes me about the stories we have heard today is that none of the outcomes were inevitable. The youth who listened to Brad could have chosen fear. The adults could have chosen fear. The congregation could have chosen fear. Instead, they chose relationship. They chose curiosity. They chose love. Willow reminded us during our planning for this service that visible welcome matters. It matters because somewhere, always, there is someone trying to figure out whether it is safe to be known, safe to tell the truth about themselves, safe to belong. One of the gifts our predecessors gave us was their willingness to do the work of welcome intentionally. They didn't assume they already knew everything they needed to know. They didn't assume the work was finished. And perhaps that is the question before us now. Not whether South Church is welcoming. The stories we've heard today answer that question. The question is whether we're willing to keep learning, whether we're willing to listen to the experiences of LGBTQ plus people today, whether we're willing to ask what forms of welcome are needed now that were not yet imagined 20 years ago. One way we might do that is by renewing our welcoming congregation commitment, which could mean setting time aside to learn together again. It could mean worship that does not let Pride be the only Sunday when LGBTQ plus lives are named and celebrated, but paying attention to days of remembrance and celebration that matter to queer and trans people. It could mean supporting organizations doing this work in our wider community. It could mean asking with humility where our welcome is visible and where it is still too quiet. Not a program to check off, a practice to return to. So maybe this is where the story leaves us, not with a finished history, but with a living question. What does love require of us now? That question's not mine alone to answer. It's not the pride groups alone. It's not the boards alone. It belongs to all of us. And so, as we close, we turn from listening to singing together. We add our voices to the voices of those who came before us and to those still finding the courage to be fully known. Let us rise in body or in spirit together as we sing hymn number 170 in your gray hymnal.
We
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of its truth, the warmth of our community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry on our hearts and out into the world until we are together again. Thank you.
May the love that welcomed you today travel with you. May the stories we have remembered strengthen your courage. May you help widen the circle wherever you go. May you be gentle with one another, fierce for justice, and generous in spirit. And may we continue together to choose love over fear. Go in peace. Amen.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great journey we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great journey we shall learn to lead in love. In this great journey we shall learn to lead in love.